for various things. We've used it for design presentations to give an accurate representation of a garment before it's made. We've used it in lieu of a physical prototype, which saves so much time. And so that's mainly like how we use it is visuals on our website as well. And I think that's the future of it, to utilize it more and decrease time spent shipping and waiting and creating a P1. Like, we can do it virtually first, and like, significantly cut down on time and effort, and such a great tool for the fashion industry using programs like Clo and Browseware, and yeah, it's essential. I think it's really in the direction the fashion industry is using it, it's gonna be pretty helpful go forward.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That is great. And so let's take a little bit of a turn because you are very entrepreneurial too. And you co-founded Glyn and Glyn in 2019. And what I respect too is that you took a couple of years of developing the company before you launched it. And so tell us about Glyn and Glyn.
Well, yeah, it was during my time when I was contracting for several other companies, and I was sharing an office with my sister in Boulder, and she's also a designer in her own right. She works for did a lot of brand identity for companies, is an amazing graphic designer, photographer. So she kinda had that marketing side of things. I had the apparel design skill set, and we just I guess as kids, we always or not as kid like, young adults, we thought how cool it would be to run a company together or create something. We're both into fashion. So the timing was just kind of right where we were both contracting and had some flexibility to start this plan and create a business plan. My dad was a huge help because he had recently retired and was our CFO for a while. So he got the financial stuff organized, which was key because that was not my skill set at all. And so I it's was truly a family business where we pitched to investors. I had initial let's see, we had a 9-piece collection, I think, mapped out to launch for spring, and we were working with developers to get the patterns made. I think the hugest struggle was finding a factory. As a contractor, you don't have a ton of connections. I had a few from Macy's, so I think that was very time consuming, and maybe I'm getting off topic. There's so many things I could talk about, but
This is good.
yeah, I think creating that business plan, creating a set amount of designs that we wanted to launch with that displayed our vision, which was we wanted to fill this spot of in the women's apparel world of like modern workwear meets evening attire without the price tag of like higher end contemporary brands, which is what I wanted to wear, but I couldn't afford to wear. And so we had a very aligned vision of making timeless pieces using
Mm.
quality materials. So like cupro and silk and wool, we had expensive taste, but wanted to make them a little bit more accessible going direct to market, without the wholesale, which could help our retail price, but that was tough. So we had to narrow down to just a few 9 styles, and then getting them made took a long time, figuring out who was gonna produce them. Luckily, we got introduced to an agent in New York who had worked with small brands and worked with smaller companies, so we she ended up hooking us up with 2 women-run factories in the garment district in New York that were both fabulous, and it was just a really great time back and forth to New York working with her. Without our agent, I don't think we could have done it. Like, it was so overwhelming to find the right factory and also, like, it pointed in the right direction of textile mills that would work for our line, so that was extremely helpful. But, yeah, it was just such a journey, and we learned so, so much, but yeah, unfortunately, we launched in 2019 and right on the rise of us getting our name out there, then COVID happened and shut just everything down. So timing was not on our side with that, but not to say we can't pick it back up again and expand on what we've learned so far. We created some really great pieces and made so many connections that it was worth it. A lot of work, learned so much. And then, yeah, we were able to pivot after what we learned from our first launch, like what styles we thought were going to be successful weren't, what styles were successful. So we took that into consideration when doing our fall line and created a few different pieces that ended up being bestsellers. So it was great to see the business side of things. I think we underestimated the amount of marketing dollars that you have to
Wow.
spend, especially as a small brand, which is sad because a lot of small brands don't have that money, but you really have to compete to get your name out there, and that takes a lot of marketing dollars, which is unfortunate. So I think there's a lot to learn there. And like I said to you, I was like, we could dedicate a whole another hour to what worked and what not. But
I would love to have your sister and you back to talk more about Glyn and Glim. The designs were beautiful, the quality. I did purchase a couple pieces
yes,
and
thank
just
you. Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful. And you were filling a gap. And timing wasn't on your side because then workwear would to be
I know
sweatsuits and
exactly. Literally like 2 years of people, nobody buying any nice clothes, and I was like, oh, it's been
I know. Yeah, I would love to have you back, and I can imagine in the future that you will, the 2 of you will get back to that because it was really beautiful, and it's hard. It is hard as professionals to find, and it's gonna continue to be harder. So there's that gap that you were filling, I feel is gonna become like a huge canyon
yeah.
in the
I
next few
know,
years.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, you're right. Thank you.
Well, I would say keep all of those designs and ideas that you have because down the road, the way retail is going now and we're getting smaller and there's gonna be less choices for people and people are
Yeah,
gonna want choices. So
exactly. I'll keep my ideas, yes, for sure.
I'm sure you have plenty of them that are always. What are some of the biggest shifts that you have seen in apparel design and fashion design over the last decade as
Mm,
you've navigated your career too?
I think one we touched on was 3D, really, not something that was not on the horizon when we were in school. We'd learned did not that was not around. So I've seen that grow quite a bit in the last couple of years and really revolutionizing the efficiency. Like we're getting more efficient with our time and skill set, and really it's going to be huge. And then AI is definitely playing its own role in the fashion industry as well. There's programs called Newark, for instance, where you can take a sketch, a hand sketch, and it can pop out this like 3D visual of the garment, with some prompts and whatnot. It's not perfect, but I'm like, "That's amazing," and that can be used as a visual or for factories and whatnot, but a good reference point prior to making your first proto, just to seeing if you like where your design lines are, so I think that's gonna be huge. I think, yeah, those 2 things are really making it their way in the fashion industry.
Yeah, AI is just
It's crazy.
it is, and being a small business owner too with innovation insights, I am, every day there's something new that's happening